Have you ever felt like your mind is drowning in noise? Maybe you wake up and your phone is already buzzing. Notifications, emails, endless to-do lists, and 1,000 tiny decisions before you even leave your bed. You look around your room, clothes on the chair, books you'll never read, gadgets you barely use. Your day hasn't even started, and already you feel behind. If you're honest, you know this feeling. The world keeps telling you to do more, buy more, be more. Every ad, every post, every conversation is a reminder that you're not enough unless you add something new. So you chase after more information, more stuff, more goals. But the more you chase, the emptier you feel. Why is it so hard to find peace? Why does life feel so complicated, even when you have everything you thought you wanted? Why does your mind feel cluttered, restless, and tired even when you try to slow down? What if I told you the answer isn't to do more, but to do less? What if the secret to clarity, focus, and happiness isn't found in adding but in subtracting? What if the wisdom you need has been quietly practiced in Japan for centuries, by monks, artists, and ordinary people who learned to find beauty, power and freedom in simplicity? Today, I'm going to reveal the Japanese minimalist wisdom that can train your brain to embrace simplicity. No matter how busy, distracted, or overwhelmed you feel, this isn't just about decluttering your home. It's about decluttering your mind, your habits, and your life. But before we begin, I want you to do something. In the comments, write one area of your life that feels most cluttered or complicated. Is it your schedule, your relationships, your thoughts? Make it public. Make it real. Because the first step to simplicity is admitting where you feel overwhelmed. And if you're new here, subscribe to the channel. This is a community for people who are done with chaos and ready to live with clarity. Let's begin. We live in the age of excess. Never before in history have we had so much information, so many choices, so many distractions. The average person sees thousands of ads every day, is bombarded by endless news, and is expected to keep up with a world that never sleeps. But all this more comes at a cost. Our minds are scattered. Our attention is fractured. We start things and never finish. We buy things and never use them. We make plans and never follow through. We feel busy but not productive, connected but not fulfilled. Psychologists call it decision fatigue. Every choice, no matter how small, drains your mental energy. The more clutter in your environment, your schedule and your mind, the less willpower you have for what really matters. But here's the paradox. The solution isn't to do more, but to do less. Not to add, but to subtract. Not to chase, but to let go. For centuries, Japanese culture has quietly practiced the art of simplicity. From Zen monks in ancient temples to modern minimalists in Tokyo apartments. The Japanese have learned that less is not just more, it's everything. There are many words for this wisdom. Kanso, simplicity. Ma, space. Shibumi, effortless perfection. Danshari, decluttering. But at the heart of all these is a single idea, true beauty. Power and happiness are found not in what you add, but in what you remove. Zen gardens are designed with empty space, not just plants and rocks. Traditional Japanese homes are sparse with only what is needed. Even the tea ceremony is a ritual of simplicity. Every movement, every object, every moment stripped down to its essence. Why? Because when you remove the unnecessary, the necessary shines. When you clear the clutter, your mind becomes calm. When you embrace simplicity, you make space for what truly matters. Modern science is finally catching up to what Japanese wisdom has known for centuries. Studies show that clutter, physical, digital and mental, raises stress, lowers focus and drains your energy. People who live in cluttered environments are more likely to procrastinate, feel anxious and struggle with decision-making. But when you simplify, when you reduce choices, clear your space and focus your mind, your brain works better. You become more creative, more productive, and more at peace. Neuroscientists call it cognitive load. The more you carry, the slower you move. The less you carry, the faster you grow. So why do we keep adding more? Why is it so hard to let go? The truth is, most of us are addicted to more. We fear that if we let go, we'll miss out. We worry that if we don't keep up, we'll fall behind. We believe that happiness is just one more purchase, one more achievement, one more step away. But this is an illusion. The more you chase, the more you lose yourself. The more you add, the heavier you feel. Japanese wisdom teaches that the root of clutter is not outside, but inside. It's the fear of emptiness, the discomfort with space, the anxiety of being alone with your own thoughts. Zen monks spent years learning to sit in silence, to face the emptiness within. They discover that what we fear most, emptiness, stillness, simplicity, is actually the doorway to peace. Letting go is hard. It means facing your fears, your attachments, your stories about who you are and what you need. It means saying no to what doesn't serve you, even when everyone else is saying yes. But every time you let go, you become lighter. Every time you say no, you make space for a deeper yes. Every time you remove the unnecessary, you discover what is truly essential. In Japan, there is a practice called danshari, the art of refusing, disposing and separating. It's not just about throwing things away. It's about training your mind to let go of what you don't need, possessions, habits, even thoughts. The first step is to ask, does this add value to my life? Does this help me become who I want to be? If not, let it go. One of the most powerful Japanese concepts is Shoshin, the beginner's mind. It means approaching life with openness, curiosity, and a willingness to see things as they are, not as you think they should be. When you embrace Shoshin, you stop clinging to the past, to old habits, to the need for more. You become willing to start fresh, to see the beauty in simplicity, to find joy in the ordinary. Children are natural minimalists. They don't need much to be happy, a stick, a stone, a story. They are present, alive, and free. As adults, we forget this. We fill our lives with things and wonder why we feel empty. Shoshin is the key to returning to simplicity, not as a step backward, but as a leap forward. Ganso is the Japanese principle of simplicity and elimination of clutter. It's about choosing what matters and letting go of the rest. Start with your environment. Look around your room, your desk, your phone. What do you see that you don't use, don't love, or don't need? Remove it. Give it away. Throw it out. Every object you let go of is a weight lifted from your mind. But Ganso is not just about things. It's about your schedule, your commitments, your relationships. Where are you saying yes out of obligation, fear, or habit? Where can you say no and make space for what truly matters? The goal is not emptiness, but clarity. Not less for the sake of less, but less for the sake of more focus, more energy, more life. Ma is the Japanese concept of negative space, the emptiness between things. In art, music, and architecture, Ma is what gives meaning to form. In life, Ma is what gives meaning to action. Most people fear empty space. They fill every moment with noise, every room with stuff, every day with busyness. But Japanese wisdom teaches that space is not nothing, it is everything. When you create space in your life, you create room for rest, reflection, and creativity. You allow yourself to breathe, to think, to be. Try it now. Take a deep breath. Notice the space between your thoughts, the silence between your words, the pause between your actions. This is Ma, the beauty of space. Shibumi is the Japanese ideal of simple, subtle, and unobtrusive beauty. It is the quiet confidence that comes from mastery, the elegance that comes from restraint. Shibumi is not about showing off, but about letting your actions speak for themselves. It's about doing less, but doing it better. It's about finding satisfaction in the process, not just the result. In your own life, Shibumi means focusing on what you do best and letting go of the rest. It means choosing quality over quantity, depth over breadth, meaning over noise. When you embrace Shibumi, you stop chasing after more and start living with grace. Japanese minimalism is not a one-time event. It is a daily practice, a set of rituals that train your brain to embrace simplicity. Wake up and make your bed. Prepare a simple meal. Clean your space. Take a walk without your phone. Write down your thoughts. Reflect on what you can let go of today. These small acts are not just chores. They are training for your mind. They teach you to be present, to be grateful, to find joy in the ordinary. Over time, these rituals become habits. Habits become identity. You become someone who lives simply, thinks clearly, and acts with purpose. Imagine a life where you are not weighed down by clutter, not distracted by noise, not pulled in 1,000 directions. Imagine waking up with a clear mind, a calm heart, and a sense of purpose. This is the promise of Japanese minimalist wisdom. It is not about deprivation, but about liberation. It is not about having less, but about being more. When you let go of what you don't need, you discover what you truly want. When you stop chasing after more, you find contentment in what you have. Simplicity is not a sacrifice. It is a gift, a path to freedom, power, and peace. Now it's your turn. In the comments, write one thing you will let go of this week. An object, a habit, a thought, or a commitment. Make it public. Make it real. Let this be your first step toward a simpler, more powerful life. And if you found value in this video, subscribe to the channel, share it with someone who needs this message, and join our community of people who are ready to embrace simplicity. Thank you for watching. Remember, the world will keep telling you to do more, buy more, be more. But the real secret to happiness is to do less, own less, and be more present. Japanese minimalist wisdom is not just a philosophy. It is a way of life, a path to clarity, focus, and freedom. Your journey to simplicity begins now. See you in the next video.